Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. How you guys doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In this video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are going to love, especially if you're a big Golden State Warriors fan. We're going to be talking about something a little bit crazy, talking about the possibility of Joel Embiid being traded to Dub Nation. Joel to the Warriors have been a very popular rumor, and this offseason, it could happen. The Philadelphia 76ers just lost in a Game 7 in the second round of the NBA playoffs, and with so many rumors that a potential rebuild is coming, anything could happen, and that's why for this video, we're going to be talking about something a little bit crazy. So if you're a big Warriors fan, a big Joel Embiid fan, and want to see these two come together, you're going to love this. But quickly before I get on with the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and you love basketball, welcome to Easy Buckets. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos every single day. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It would help with the channel a lot. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about Joel Embiid to the Warriors. After a very sad loss in Game 7 to the Hawks, we all are very sad for Joel Embiid. During this series, Joel Embiid was an absolute monster. He did everything he could, and despite him not being perfect, I still believe he's on all areas on the positive perspective. He did his best when it comes to being their go-to scorer, and despite so many people saying the surrounding of Joel Embiid is bad, maybe we gotta question that Joel Embiid himself should say he wants to leave and request a trade. Joel Embiid was always on the 76ers ever since his draft day, and with him developing season after season, now in an MVP caliber conversation, Joel Embiid is playing the best basketball of his career, he's in his prime, and maybe going to a better team where he has a better secondary option player, and of course better head coaching, would simply give Joel a good chance of going to the NBA Finals. When talking about this year, Joel Embiid as an individual was phenomenal. He averaged about 28.5 points per game, 10.6 boards, 2.8 assists, 1.0 steals, and 1.4 blocks, and was actually in the top 3 conversation of the Most Valuable Player award. Arguably the first or second best center in the NBA besides Nikola Jokic, Embiid is just going to get better. And of course, if he stays healthy, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially on the right team. With the Philadelphia 76ers being sent home once again in the second round of the playoffs, we were hearing so many rumors of a potential rebuild. From what we hear, Ben Simmons could be traded. Ben Simmons was absolutely horrible in the NBA playoffs, especially in the Hawks series. So from what it looks like, Ben Simmons could be the first to go and is on their top priority list to get rid of. But with Ben Simmons playing so bad, there are so many teams out there that might not even want to give up assets for the Philadelphia 76ers. And if that's the case, maybe trading away Joel Embiid to get the best assets possible in return for the franchise, that might be the best solution. Of course, I don't believe Philly fans would want to trade Joel Embiid, so the only way this could happen is if Joel Embiid himself requests a trade. He wants a new situation, and of course, if that happens, the NBA just experienced an earthquake. For this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 NBA teams that I simply believe would be perfect for Joel Embiid. If he joins any of these teams, they would be an absolute nightmare. And of course, he would also get a great secondary partner. Ben Simmons is not cutting it right now. Joel Embiid, you deserve a true NBA superstar. The first team on this list is talking about the possibility of Joel Embiid joining Steph Curry on the Golden State Warriors. When talking about the Warriors this season, I'm going to be honest, they had a very disappointing year. They didn't make the playoffs, they almost did, and of course, Stephen Curry had an MVP season, but it was put to waste. Stephen Curry led the league this year in points per game and was simply carrying the load on his shoulder. But what it shows us is that the Warriors need help and need one more guy to simply help them be better. The good news though is that next season, they are getting Klay Thompson back, and with Klay and Steph alone being a dynamic duo that's almost unbeatable, getting Joel Embiid to join them would simply be a trio, possibly the best in NBA history. With Steph Curry and Joel Embiid both being an MVP candidate, having 2 MVP caliber players on the same roster literally elevates your team to a whole nother level. And with Joel Embiid and Steph already having a good relationship, I do believe this partnership becomes way more possible because of it. The best part about the Warriors offseason is that they have a lot of good trading assets that many NBA teams want. And if a team wants to trade an all-star and get the best assets in return, I believe the Warriors have the right pieces that could definitely land a deal. If the Warriors want Joel Embiid, this has to be the trade. It would be Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, James Wiseman has to be in the deal, guys. James Wiseman has to be the deal breaker, where the Philadelphia 76ers can develop him to be their new Joel Embiid, Eric Paschall, and 3 first-round draft picks, including this year's draft pick, which we all know it's the Timberwolves, and with the Wolves having one of the worst records, this draft pick could be a lottery pick. In exchange, the Warriors get Joel Embiid, of course, and also get Seth Curry. I believe this would also be an absolute fun, crazy blockbuster deal that would simply make the NBA so much more entertaining. On the Warriors' perspective, getting Joel Embiid to be their starting center over Kevon Looney, in my opinion, an amazing upgrade. I do agree though that James Wiseman has a bright future, but right now, with the Warriors in a win-now situation, Embiid over Wiseman is so much better. Another very fun part about this trade is the fact that Seth Curry would also be joining the Warriors, and we all know, we all want to see Steph and Seth on the exact same team, and in this blockbuster deal, it could easily be done. On the Warriors' perspective, having a starting lineup of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Joel Embiid, and of course an unbeatable backcourt, this Warriors team would be ultimately the best we've ever seen before. If the Warriors want Joel Embiid the MVP, he is expensive, and this has to be the deal. The next team on this list that I believe should go for Joel Embiid is the Dallas Mavericks, and that's Joel Embiid joining Luka Doncic, and right now, the Dallas Mavericks might be making some moves. After Dallas lost this year in the first round against the Clippers in Game 7, there has been so much rumors that even Luka is not happy with the team, Mark Cuban is not happy, and even the general manager left. With the Dallas Mavericks entering a mini rebuild mode, I do believe going for Joel Embiid, if he becomes available, would be a good idea, as the Dallas Mavericks have some pretty good assets they can offer to entice Philly. A big reason why the Mavs were so terrible this season was because of how bad Porzingis was, and getting an upgrade of Joel Embiid over Porzingis would simply elevate this team offense and defense, and of course, put them right back into playoff contention. If the Mavericks can offer up Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Brunson, Josh Richardson, and 3 first-round draft picks, I believe this is a pretty good offer for the Philadelphia 76ers to accept. With Luka Doncic getting better season after season, I do believe he needs a dominant big to help Luka and the Mavs go further in the NBA playoffs. And with Joel Embiid also wanting to prove himself, playing with Luka would simply be an absolute amazing point guard and center combo. And the last team on this list is talking about the Portland Trailblazers, and that's the possibility of Damian Lillard getting Joel Embiid to be an absolutely monster lineup in the Western Conference. After the Blazers lost this year in the first round of the playoffs, they have been very vocal on saying they want to rebuild. They might trade Dame, they might trade CJ, and of course, they just fired their head coach of Terry Stotts. With the Portland Trailblazers struggling when it comes to defense and their current center of Jusuf Nurkic not being as effective as we want him to be, I believe replacing Nurkic with Joel Embiid would simply be a task not easy to do, but if it gets done, it would simply be amazing. Simply imagine Dame and Joel Embiid on those pick and rolls and those pick and pops. That would be unstoppable to guard. If the Blazers can offer up CJ McCollum, Jusuf Nurkic, Anthony Simons, 2 first-round draft picks, and 2 pick swaps, I believe this is a pretty good offer for Philly to accept, as of course, losing Joel to get a starting caliber player of Nurkic, and also get a guard that could simply score rather than Ben Simmons of CJ McCollum. On the other hand, the Blazers also get Seth Curry to kind of replace CJ McCollum, so it is a win-win situation for both teams. I love Joel Embiid to the Dallas Mavericks and Warriors better, but going to the Blazers, it wouldn't be a bad idea as well. Dame needs help. But yes guys, this wraps up my video for today, talking about Joel Embiid and some trade scenarios that I believe would be awesome. My favorite is the Warriors. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Which of these trades do you believe is the most likely, the most realistic? And of course, what team do you want to see Joel Embiid on? Put your thoughts down in the comments below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!